Hello and welcome to my tour of Google Classroom. Classroom is a service that's new from Google that we've heard about for a few months and we've been able to have our hands on for a month or so, but it's been officially released this last week and now it is ready to use. So what is Google Classroom? It's a brand new tool from Google, again, that was designed hand in hand with teachers to help them use Google Drive, and especially if they have Chromebooks in the classroom, to really help streamline and simplify and organize all of the document sharing and being able to assign work to students and have them turn it in all online without ever having to worry about sharing and email addresses and things like that. Uh, if you're familiar with the Canvas learning management system, it's a really, really light version of that, uh, more like Edmodo, but with all of, again, the power of the sharing and everything that Google has. It's really just streamlined the process. Uh, it's sort of a Volkswagen versus a Ferrari. Canvas is the Ferrari of LMS systems. Works really great. There are 1,000 bells and whistles, but it can be intimidating for teachers to use. Uh, Google Classroom is like that dependable Volkswagen that just goes and goes and goes and is simple to use and just always works. There is an overview of Classroom available. If you Google Classroom or follow this link on my website, you can get another more in-depth overview of it. So what can Google Classroom do? It can create classes with a click. It's really easy to add students. You can add them either by email or for each class, Google gives you a code that students can just go to classroom.google.com, enter that code, and then they are enrolled in your class. Each class has a classroom stream for public discussions. You can talk about anything that's going on in class, make announcements, and whatever you need to do there in the general area. You can also create assignments right in Classroom using one or multiple uploaded files, documents you may have in Google Drive, YouTube videos, or web links. And students will receive those assignments right in their classroom online and submit them there as well. There are open discussions in the assignment, so you can have a classroom discussion about each assignment. But then when a student turns in their assignment, they can ask you a private, they can send you a private note, or you can have a one-on-one discussion with the student if they have questions about that assignment or problems or issues or things like that, so that it's not public to everybody else. What else can it do? Students can turn their assignments in online. You get an automatic timestamp when they turn that in. You can grade things right within Classroom and then return those documents just kind of like you do in a traditional classroom. But again, it's all done online. There's automatic Drive file folder and document creation. So everything is shared, organized, created automatically. It really does a great job of that. You can download assignment grades once you've graded everything, get all those student grades as a spreadsheet, and there's lots more there, but there's much more to come. I'm sure in the coming months they will have a quizzing option there and other features as well. So first things to know, Classroom really has just been officially released. We're still trying to figure out how to manage all the accounts and things like that, but we think it's ready to go. For now, teachers and students must both be on the same email domain. So if you're in a district like Beaver, who has separate teacher and student email accounts, you will have, as a teacher, you will have to have an account in the student domain in order to use Google Classroom. This may change in the coming months, but right now, that's the way it's working right now. So if you want to use Classroom with your students, you need to let your district tech folks know that you'd like a student account so that you can get started. And so let me show you how we do get started. So I'm going to jump over here to Classroom. What I've done as a teacher, I have an account in the student domain. This is for Beaver County, but it's the same for any other district or organization. And then as soon as you have that student account and you've gone through the verification things that you have to do with Google, you need to head to classroom.google.com. The first time you're there, there'll be an option down the page a bit that it's going to ask you if you're a student or a teacher. Choose teacher, click continue. and then you should jump right into in a Google Classroom to create your first class. You should be at this page right here. And so let's get started. You hit the plus. You can either create a class or you can join other teachers' classes as a student, but as a teacher, you probably just want to click this Create Class. Give it a name, so I'll call this Classroom Demonstration. And if I want to give it a section number, I can say Section 1, or let's call this Section 2. And create that class. It'll think for a little bit and then take you into your classroom. At the very first, it gives you a kind of a default template here. Again, this is your stream where you can send out announcements or assignments. You can click here to start a tour. If you want to leave my little video demonstration, that's totally fine. But Google has created this classroom for you online. Your students will go to classroom.google.com just like you did, logged into their student account, and they will either be added by you manually, or they can use this class code down here. Each classroom gets a random code that students can enter to join your class, and that's probably the easiest way to get students in there. But the way you enroll students into your class is click on the Students tab, and then you can invite them using this code. Or if you click on Invite, it'll bring up your contact list. I'm in a demonstration account, so I don't have any contacts listed here, but all your regular Gmail contacts will be listed here, and if you have your students in there already, you just search by student name here and click their name and click Invite Students. So right now, I'm going to have to use this code, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch a little bit back and forth. I'll try not to get too confusing, but I'm going to switch over to a student account that I created recently. Okay, so as a student, I've gone to classroom.google.com. I get the same window, but instead of create your first class, it says join your first class. And I'm in here as classroom demo at bcsdstudent.org. So I click here to create or join my first class. It's asking me for my code. So as a teacher, I'd put this code up on the board and let every student log in on their Chromebook or go to the computer lab and enter that or get that code and just have them all join in together. And when I click join, it'll add me as a student to that class and actually do some really cool things. At the very first, if I go to my drive here, Google has now created a classroom folder for me. And within that classroom folder, I now have a folder for each one of my classes. It does that for me automatically. It's very, very convenient. Again, students will get the option to start a tour if they're new to Classroom, but we'll kind of walk you through this here as well. There are no assignments left. There's no posts or anything else. Students can go and see their classmates. As a teacher side, you see it as the students in your class, but they can communicate with their class buddies as well. So now we're back here on the student side. I can see that Google Classroom, my dummy account, has joined my class, and I've even got his email address right there. If I want to send a message to that student, I just click on that little email icon and compose the message, and it goes right to them. I can even select all my students all at once, send them all an email to send them a notification or anything through their classroom email. But for now, let's just stick with this one student in this class. There's also an about page for each classroom. I can come in here and add some general information about the class. We'll call this Learning Classroom for Teachers. And I won't give a discretion. We meet online. There's the name of the teacher email. This is the folder for all of the work that happens for this classroom. And then down here below, I can add materials. Any file that I want to upload, any Google Drive document I have, if I have a YouTube video welcoming my classes or my students to my class and to their online classroom, I could link to that YouTube video or put any other links there that I want. And this will stay here all the time. If students go to About for this class, they'll always be able to get to this information, so that might be a good place to put a syllabus classroom rules, classroom links that you use all the time, and anything else that you want students to have access to all the time. But the stream is where all the action happens. This is where you do most of the work in Drive. So I can make an announcement to my students, welcome back, and post that. And now if I wanted my students to reply to that, they could add a comment there. And again, as a student, it says one new item has been posted to the stream. If I just click on that, there's the announcement for that student. So everything happens and updates pretty much in real time and live. Very nice. So let's switch back over to the teacher. Before I create an assignment, so you can change this class theme. Every time you create a new class, it has these weird, strange purple bubbles. So you do have some options in here to kind of liven it up or to customize it to your own. I'm an old biology teacher, so maybe I'll choose this. Let's choose this butterfly. And now it changes the color and the background, and so you can kind of personalize each classroom so that you know when you're in a different one and students have an idea of different classes. All right, so let's make an assignment. So in Drive, or in Classroom, it says look like you're creating an assignment. There's all these tours that will walk you through this, but I'm going to walk you through it now. Give the name, the assignment a name. I'll call it Summer Vacation. And I'll leave the description blank for now. You can choose a due date and a due time even if you want. And then for each assignment, you can either upload, again, just like the About materials there, you can upload any sort of PDF, Word document, PowerPoint that you already have created. You can attach anything that you have in Google Drive, YouTube videos, and links. And you can add one or multiple links or documents to each assignment. So before I started this demonstration, I created a little assignment for my students, name, class, and date up here, and asking them to insert an image to show me a photo that represents the best thing they did that summer. And I want them to put that image right down here. So let's attach that to my assignment. Okay, I'm going to click on Drive. And since I don't have a whole lot of stuff in there already, I've got Summer Vacation. I can also search for the name of the assignment, search for Summer Vacation. Okay, add. And now when I do that, I have the option to give 3 ways to share this file with my class. I can have the whole class view the same document. That would be like your virtual copy machine or risograph, where you're paperlessly handing out this document. Students can't change the document, but they can view it, or maybe even create a copy of that. You can give them the option to view and edit the same document. That would be a great way to do collaborative or group work, maybe build a presentation template or skeleton, and then assign this out to your classroom and give certain students or certain groups different slide numbers to update. And then when everything's done, you've got one presentation instead of 30 different PowerPoint files on jump drives and disks and emails and stuff like that. Or the really great one, each individual student gets their own copy to work in. And what Google does is when you choose that option, and that's the one I'm going to choose here, I'm going to say make a copy for each student. And now what Google does when a student opens that up is it creates a new document in their own Drive, names it for them, and gives you viewing rights and students the rights to edit that document. So I'm not going to include any other links. I'm just going to click Assign here. And then after it thinks for a moment, that assignment will post to the stream. And it tells me out of all the students that I have in the class, I've only got 1 student. 1 is not done, and 0 have done that right now. Over here on the left, it shows all the assignments that have been assigned and the ones that are coming up due tomorrow. And the Summer Vacation one is coming up due pretty quick. So as a student, I need to get to work on that. On the student side, I am notified that there's been 1 new item posted to the stream, and hey, look at that. I've got an assignment called Summer Vacation. It's due tomorrow. We can have a public conversation. Give us more time. And students can post that as a general open discussion on that assignment, or they can do private notes, and we'll show you that here in a second. But on the student side, I'm going to click Open right here to start working on that assignment. And what it does is it moves me to my assignment page. I can always go back to the assignment details. But right here it says on this page you can attach files to your assignment before you turn it in. Or if you open this document that's already been created, you can work on that version the teacher handed out. So every student for each assignment can add any file from Google Drive or link or upload a file. From this assignment, they can create a document presentation, whatever is appropriate or they need to do for that assignment. Or if the student gave the option, or the teacher gave the option to create a file for each student, here's what we do. I click on that assignment. It has now opened it up. Summer vacation. This is my name. I've got a fake Google Classroom name. But for your students, it would say summer vacation and then a dash and then their name. So it automatically names that for them. And now I have that same template that's right here. I'm going to switch to another window. In the background, Google has created a folder for me and then has also created that document for me in my drive. I don't have to move files around. I don't have to share them. Students don't have to do anything other than just open up that assignment and start working. So I'll call this Clint. Oops, the class I'm in is Classroom Demo, and the date is August 16th, 2014. And then now I'm going to put the picture right here, go to Insert, Image. If I have an image that's already on my computer, I can upload it. If I have a webcam attached, I can take a snapshot. And so I can take a picture if I want there. Or I can click on Search and find a picture in either all of Google or Life images or really high quality stock images. And the best thing I did this summer was lounge by the pool. So I'm going to search that and find a picture I like. All of these images are labeled for commercial reuse with modification, which in teacher terms, that means that they are copyright free and students can use and reuse them and redistribute them and publish them. So I'll click select there. It'll drop that picture in my assignment for me. And now you'll see when you're done, please click the Turn In button on the top right page. So most Google Drive documents don't have that Turn In button, but in Classroom they do. So when students are ready to go, they'll click Turn In. It'll switch me back to my classroom and then give me a little warning here that says when you turn in this assignment, and this is the magic part, students lose the ability to edit these files. So it's just like when a kid drops their assignment into the hand-in box or puts it on your desk. They can't change it anymore, but now you're doing all this virtually. Students do have the option to unsubmit the assignment, but a record of turning it in and unsubmitting and turning it back in, you'll have that timestamp whenever students do that. And then here's where you can have private notes or private conversations. So be kind in grading. Students can make their pleas or give the teacher excuses maybe, or maybe extenuating circumstances, whatever. But this is a private conversation between the teacher and the student. Nobody else can see that other than the teacher. So we'll turn that in. And now it says you've turned this in. If I need to unsubmit it, I can. There's my conversation with my teacher. And so now let's go and see what that looks like on the teacher side. So now you just saw it instantly update. It went from 0 not done, or 1 not done, to 0, and 1 done to there. And so now I can see student. If I click on done here, it'll show me all the students that have turned in that assignment. And again, as I go through this, it kind of gives me the process as we go. You can easily see who submitted the assignment, grade, and return submissions, or download a CSV of the grades. Cool. And so there's my Google Classroom student. Here's my note. It says he's done. I can see when he turned it in or any other submission history right there. There's the note that he sent me. I'll say I'll do my best. Post that to the student. They get that note back. But then as a teacher, to grade this, I just click on the link of his assignment here. Opens that up in a new tab. I can see all of his work there. Now as the teacher, you have complete editing rights. You can do whatever you want to do here. You can insert text right in the document. You can insert a comment. And just to prove what's going on here on the student side, now if I go back to the student side, it says access denied. You no longer have permission to edit that document. You can only view this, and I can see that my teacher, Clint, is in there looking at my document. Oh, all right, so let's switch back to the teacher view. I can insert a comment up here, say, great job. Or I can do that in within Classroom. If there's fixes that need to be made, you can insert comments letting them know what to do. You can also type directly in the document. This is your teacher. And then on his side, if I scroll on down, I can see that the teacher is making those comments. All right, switching back. I'll stop switching back and forth a bunch. So as a teacher, I've done my evaluation. I've graded the assignment. Once I close the window, I go right back into Classroom, and then I can click right here, 100%. You can choose how many points are possible, or you can also just come in here and customize the number of points that are there. And you'll notice once I graded the assignment, this little box is checked and the return button lights up. And that's like giving the piece of paper back to the student. They can then edit that assignment, do whatever they need to do, make any changes, but they retain the ownership of that document. And if I wanted to return one or multiple to the same class, I can say great job and return the assignment. And now back on my student side, if I reload this document, but I should now have editing rights again. There we go, back. I have rights to fix that document or to make any changes, but I own it again as a student. And then if I click back here to the Classroom, we're back in the stream. Any other announcements or assignments come through, the students can access those from there, and you can do what you need to do. So you can see that I didn't have to send any emails. I didn't have to hit any share buttons. It's just all handled streamlessly for me. And Google's done a great job in making this tool available. I think it is will be something that's very useful for teachers. I'm guessing that they'll be adding more options to Classroom as time goes on. I think the next thing they'll add is the ability to do a quiz right here within Classroom, but stay tuned for changes to come. I hope you enjoyed this tour of Google Classroom. You can always email me at clint@sedck12.org if you have any questions or comments. Good luck starting the school year, and good luck with Google Classroom.